Welcome to KCCK's Culture Crawl. I'm Dennis Green, and my guest today is John Herbert from Legion Arts in Cedar Rapids, which operates, among other things, the CSPS Hall in the New Beau area. Welcome, John.
Thanks, Dennis.
And this is, you guys are busy all year long, but this is one of your busiest times because this is the Landfall Festival.
It is. We take a little bit of a hiatus in the summer and then gear up again when school starts. And one of our big events every fall, actually this is the 8th year, we have a Landfall Festival of World Music running this year for 5 days in mid-September. So we bring in bands from all over the world.
And when we say all over the world, we mean all over the world. I mean, you bring in bands from countries that we don't even think of having a big music heritage.
Sometimes countries we've barely heard of. But yeah, we have actually bands coming this year from North and South America, from Asia, the Middle East, Africa, and Europe. So
wow.
Really sort of running the gamut there.
So, and you do several different venues centered on CSPS, but we'll talk about venues too as we get going.
Yeah.
But that's nice too that you do things in places other than your own house.
We do. And actually in the last couple of years, we've actually been expanding it a little bit even beyond Cedar Rapids. So this year we're doing a concert in cooperation with the St. Raphael Orthodox Church in Iowa City. We'll be hosting one of our concerts, and the Des Moines Social Club also will be hosting one. So trying to spread the wealth around a little bit.
Nice.
Yeah.
So let's start. So we start on the 15th, which is a Tuesday?
Right.
Yeah.
The festival runs 15 through 19 this year.
Okay.
We have one band in residence for the entire week, thanks to support from the National Performance Network. It's a group called Matuto, based in New York primarily, but with a lot of Brazilian components as well. So they'll be here the entire week, and they will be playing on that Tuesday night at 6:30 at Opus Concert Cafe in the Paramount. So they'll be kicking off the festival on that Tuesday. I should mention maybe right off the top that all the concerts this year are free, thanks to support from the Iowa Arts Council, the Greater Cedar Rapids Community Foundation, Rockwell Collins, PMX, and other supporters. We're able to present all the concerts. Well, I put a little caveat there. They're free admission, but we are certainly appreciate and will be soliciting donations
yes,
to sort of keep the concerts free. So that concert at 6:30 p.m. on Tuesday with Matuto, doing some wonderful kind of a mix of Brazilian and Appalachian music.
Brazilian and Appalachian.
It works.
What an interesting. I'm sure it does. What an interesting combination, though.
Yeah. Well, you get with bluegrass and Foho, you get sort of similar kind of tempos and instrumental approaches. So they're enormous fun, and they'll actually, as I say, they'll be here all week. They'll be working with kids in Washington High School, who will perform with them at the end of the week, and performing all around the community.
All right, and then so it's just something different every day. So what happens on Wednesday?
Well, we have a group coming from the Republic of Georgia called Zetashe Ensemble. They were here actually a couple of years ago for our festival. A wonderful mix of sort of polyharmonic singing and dancing, sometimes even a little sword play. So it's a very sort of Balkan kind of act. They will be actually at CSPS on Tuesday, and then on Wednesday they'll be down at St. Raphael's Church in Iowa City.
Come for the concerts, stay for the sword fight.
That's right. We have also on Wednesday, it's a big night. We have a terrific sort of experimental singer, musician named Karolina Kicha, from Poland, making her actually her first, this will be her American debut here in Cedar Rapids on Tuesday and Wednesday. And we have a...
and what kind of music does she sing?
She uses traditional songs, but she sort of uses a lot of looping and stuff. This particular performance, she sings in 9 different languages. And she and her partner play about 9 to 12 different instruments. So it's a kind of like a tour through ethnic corners of Poland, and very exciting but very dynamic. She's a really, really great charismatic performer. Also on Wednesday, we have Bugat, is a sort of mariachi rapper from Montreal, if you can figure that out. He's actually from Colombia originally, has been living in Montreal, is in the process of moving to Mexico. He's kind of a world music festival in himself.
I think the genre bending is my favorite part about Landfall, a mariachi rapper.
Well, it's exciting. I mean, some of the groups like Zetashe from Georgia, real traditional music, some of the songs are hundreds of years old. Other musicians are really sort of like on the cutting edge of sort of mixing traditional forms and contemporary idioms.
Well,
and
that's the
instrumental
point.
Approaches.
That's the point
so
of a young musician, growing up in any country. We talk about that a lot in jazz, about how, yes, it's great to pay tribute to the jazz masters and the American standards, but if you aren't filtering that through your own experience, what's the point?
Yeah. Actually, in that, since you mentioned jazz, on Friday night at CSPS, we have a terrific singer. Again, it's a really interesting mix. She's Ethiopian, but she lives in Israel, and she's very influenced by American jazz. Traditional American jazz, so it's her CDs. You'll find yourself sort of jumping from a very kind of African sounding vocal to something that sounds like Sarah Vaughan or something. So her name is Esther Rada. She's really kind of a rising star in the global music scene, and we're really excited to have her coming. So for jazz fans,
there you go.
If you want an entry point into world music, Esther Rada may be it.
Let me see. I think we skipped over Thursday.
We did. On Thursday, we have a terrific band from Morocco. Practices a form of music called Gnawa, and it's the name of the artist is Aziz Samawi and the University of Gnawa. So it's if you know the sort of like that trance music that comes out of Mali with the the very prominent guitars and the kind of long improvisational trance-like structures, the music is somewhat similar to that. Terrific musicians, and he's a great singer, and we're really excited to have him making his debut here.
All right, and then everything wraps up on Saturday.
Yeah, on Saturday.
And Saturday, you're outdoors.
Well, yes, and we have our fingers crossed.
Yeah.
We've actually been rained out a couple of times, but so far things look good, and I think the odds are with us in any case. Saturday we'll be presenting 4 bands at McGrath Amphitheater there for the first time this year, in a program running from probably noon to 7. We have a terrific duo from South Korea called Sum, and they perform on traditional Korean instruments, which are quite elaborate and heavy and hard to get around. But again, sort of like showing influences of very contemporary music and jazz and serial music. Matuto will be performing on Saturday again with students from Washington High School. We did this once before, and it was just great. We get about 20 string students from the high school and coming up and playing with Matuto. That's great. Terrific musician from Estonia named Marja Nut, and again she uses very traditional songs, performs solo with her violin, her voice, and a lot of looping. So she creates these really elaborate sort of like soundscapes around these, based on these fragments of traditional Estonian songs. And then closing with a band that I'm really excited about. We've been trying to get these guys for a couple of years, called Otava Yo from Russia. And it's, I believe, a 7-piece ensemble doing very, very dynamic and exciting versions of sort of traditional Russian folk songs with a lot of drumming, a lot of guitar, some brass, and they'll be closing out the festival there at McGrath Amphitheater on Saturday.
And again, all of this is free.
All of this is free, and we're very, very happy to have donations.
Of course. And the nice thing about being you is that if you do have inclement weather, you've got a place where you can put people.
Well, yeah, I'm not sure what our rain plan is for Saturday. We'll monitor the situation, and I think McGrath is relatively, at least the musicians are sort of protected.
The stage is covered, yeah.
So if it's just a little gray, we'll probably be there. If we're having monsoon level storms, we probably will relocate. So people can find out information about all these events and a full schedule at our website, which is legionarts.org, and of course we'll be posting updates there and on Facebook. We're doing some pop-up concerts this year, so you may see one of these bands playing downtown or at New Bow City Market during the course of the week. And then that's another exciting dimension. But we'll be posting those kinds of updates too on our website and on Facebook.
It's the Landfall Festival of World Music beginning September 15th. Again, your website, legionarts.org, correct?
That's correct.
All right. Well, good luck with it, and we'll keep our fingers crossed for good weather for the outdoor concert.
We'd appreciate it.